Hello, everyone, and welcome to a long hiatus high sensitivity podcast. This is episode 261, and if you're coming back to us, this is our top, essentially 30. We do a top 10 TV shows, movies, and video games that we watched or played over the year. And if you haven't heard, my name is Barry, and I'm accompanied by my two co-hosts here.
Word through the grapevine is my name's Craig.
My name is also Craig. We all forget how to do this. It was a nice break. We're ready to roll.
I'm surprised
Ready
I
to rock.
remembered.
Yeah,
the
you
intro.
remembered the intro. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. I guess I've done it so many times that it's not that, it's
like
second
riding a
nature to
bike.
me at this point.
Right.
Exactly. While this is a one-off, this may be your first time hearing us. We usually talk about video game movie news and what we played or watched over the week. This is a special episode, so if you feel the need and you want to know what our gaming news and stuff are, we will get back to that in the next podcast. We are still trying to work out whether or not we're going to do this weekly or bi-weekly, like we were doing for a little while there. We'll figure it out as we come back from our long, refreshed, and well-deserved break. So, with no less and no introductions all done and taken care of, we're going to do TV shows first. As someone who's been incredibly busy this past year with a job and just with everything else personally going on, I do not have top 10 TV shows. So this is a Craig face-off.
Oh, the face-off.
Ooh,
I
dun,
like
dun,
it.
dun.
I like it. I wonder how much of our TV shows are gonna like cross. I feel like we're gonna vary quite a bit.
Yeah, I think I know of like 4 that will probably be crossing.
If I can guess, Welcome to Derry is on both your lists.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
All right, cool. All right, we'll just go back and forth then. Craig, do you want to start with your 10, or do you have honorable mentions? Because I don't.
I don't. So I do not have 11 shows that I've watched. I only have 10.
I also managed to scrape up 10 shows that I watched this past year. That's pretty good, though, if you think about all the games and movies we do, right? That's
right.
solid.
No, I agree. I'll start with my 10. My 10 would be the second season of School Spirits, which was a very it's a nice show that kind of opens up. I think that if you're looking for kind of a whodunit, but in a ghost style, where the ghosts are actually trying to figure out who done it. Again, it's a group of kids that are trapped within their school, kind of American Horror Story season 1-esque style. They leave, they get teleported right back into the school, and they're trying to figure out how a specific one of them died in the school, because all of the other accompanying cast members died already in different times in that school's past. So it's a nice, easy one. I think that it's not going to give you like a Game of Thrones intensity, but it's a real nice whodunit. It's great. I think it could be kind of utilized amongst families and watched together kind of thing, because it is kind of like a PG version. There are some blood moments, but like it's not as bad maybe for like a teenager or something. So,
all right. My number 10 is Ripple, and I'm sure none of you know what that is. That's totally fine. Not normally my type of shows. It's more of like a drama. It's on Netflix, but it's literally like a bunch of different characters and like random things that happen that intersect all these characters together, which is kind of an interesting concept. It all takes place in New York, most of it around like a bar. But I was surprised by how much I enjoyed the show, because I don't normally enjoy those type of shows, but it's a good way to round out my 10. So Ripple for me.
All right, checking in back at 9. We have another whodunit, which is Only Murders in the Building. What they have done, this is season 5, so that's what I'm technically counting. What they have done with this show is pretty fantastic. They continuously add cameos that build on the already strong character base that they have. And I know that I've talked about it on this podcast before. It always finds its way somewhere in my top because of the clever writing. I would say think 30 Rock, but like kind of writing, where there's just a lot of good humor kind of baked into things that the character says. Don't come for me, it's not exactly like 30 Rock, but it does have that style. So that would be my 9.
All right. My 9 is season 2 of The Rehearsal. Nathan Fielder doing it again. Words cannot describe how much I love that show, but it's also a hard one to recommend because you have to be a fan of his style of humor, I guess. But I like to not say much about that show in the individual seasons because it's best to go in blind. So just watch The Rehearsal. I believe it's on HBO. I think. Are we back to HBO now? It's not Max anymore. Or is it HBO Max? I can't keep
I
up.
think it's HBO Max.
It might be neither. If we're being honest, that app has
It might
changed
be,
so many
yeah.
hands.
I know the logo changes all the time.
Right. Let's see. Back to 8. 8 for me is Alien Earth. Alien Earth. I think for anybody out there who is a sci-fi fan and does tend towards aliens, I think that this is a pretty good watch. It's an interesting take. I forgot that Alien never really takes place on actual Earth. So the fact that they kind of wrapped a story around that, some good storylines, classic trying to weaponize the alien species because of their destructive nature, and it's a really good one, and a couple of scenes are really horror-esque too, with the characters trying to survive. So Alien Earth, that's 8 for me.
8 for me is Daredevil, Born Again. Going back into the Daredevil universe. Forgot how much I enjoyed Daredevil. I would love to see him in an actual more Marvel movies. That would be sweet. But since he, for whatever reason, is not, I will take more seasons of this if they do it. I think they plan on doing more seasons, but it was nice to get back into the Hell's Kitchen.
Okay. Number 7 is I guess a show that if you asked me before, I wouldn't have thought would be this low or high, whichever one you want to put on my list at 7. Last of Us season 2 is 7. There are 6 shows that I think were better for me personally, but it's season 2. For those of you who've seen it, you kind of know why. I don't hate the second game or season 2 as much as some other people in the industry, but like everybody else, if you compare season 2 and the game to season 1, well, the game is actually a little different. If you compare season 2 of Last of Us, only season 2 of Last of Us to season 1, that's where you will get almost a 100% people saying that 1 was better. So
Yes.
The game's different. I want to go on record saying that. There
Correct.
are people who think the second game is better than the first.
I totally forgot that I watched that this year.
Yeah.
So it was
probably for good reason.
Yeah, and I don't.
Right.
I didn't hate it, but it was very forgettable for me.
Very forgettable.
But I think that's because we've played it.
Yeah.
And also
right.
and I'll speak a little bit here as someone who is trying to walk their parents through what's going on, and they have no idea like how any of this works. It's funny because my mother was in the same shock that we were when you get to the end of where season 2 ends,
yeah,
and then kind of the next part of the game starts. She was dumbfounded. She was like, "What is going on? Like, how can you explain this to me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I kind of can. Like, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but this is what's this is the way the game also goes."
Right. Yeah. Hopefully the next season is good. Not that this season was bad by any means. I am not in the camp of saying it was horrible, but just ultimately, apparently forgettable for me because I didn't even remember. Right. 7.
It also brought up a lot of. I was gonna say, just also brought up a lot of hatred for the game again.
Yes.
Like it always feels like the backlash. Yeah, I need to replay it at some point, to be fair, just to see if I feel the same way. But
right,
it did.
Number 7 for me is season 3 of Squid Game. Still going strong, still enjoying it. Unlike, I guess, forgettable as The Last of Us was to me, the Squid Game was very memorable. I don't know if either one of you, are you like up to date with Squid Game or not? You're not. Okay. Did you watch any of it?
Season 1. Heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just one episode of season 2, and that's as far as our family went.
That's fair. I mean, I get like people really fell off after the first season. I think second season was kind of mid at best, so I understand the fall off. But season 3, I think, is back to where it should be.
Okay. All right, 6 for me, which might be the first of where Craig and I interlap. I don't know. Somewhere on our list, it would be Twisted Metal season 2. Love the comedy. I love, as a Twisted Metal fan, Craig, I know you can attest to this too, getting to the actual bracket where we're actually doing the tournament. I know that Calypso could be a little out there. Maybe he was a little more whimsical than a lot of us remember from more of the bloodthirsty Calypso from the game. Even though he was kind of bloodthirsty as well. But he gave me like Alice in Wonderland, like would be at the tea table or the tea party kind of vibe. But he grew on me. So I liked it. Love Twisted Metal. Can't wait for season 3.
I didn't even watch it.
Oh, then
Oh,
never
and you're
mind.
a
Then
big proponent of it.
we're not going to interlap on that one.
No, and I honestly forgot to. I just forgot to watch it. That's really what that was, because I remember being like, "Oh yeah, it's coming out," but I did not even watch it. That's hilarious. All right, we're on 6, right? 6. All right.
Yeah.
6 for me is season 3 of Reacher. Still killing it. Still amazing. Barry, you watched season 3, right?
I did, yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
A great start to the season. That first episode really had you going, I don't know what's going on, and then the twist from there. But man, I think we've both said this. Give me like 50 seasons of Reacher, please, for the love of God.
I do wonder whether or not like that and the Jack Ryan series will one day cross over. I don't think they ever do in the books.
That would be sweet.
But they're both Amazon Prime properties, so
true.
Yeah, so why not?
True.
All right, 5 for me is White Lotus season 3. It's White Lotus. I know that it had its little craze when it came out. Leanne and I powered through the first 2 seasons to get ready for the third one, so I don't know if that affects this ranking, but it's a great concept. And they do a great job with the cinematography, the character. I almost said character creation, character development, and then they always find a way to interweave everybody's story so that the last 2 episodes are just mind blowing. So that's my 5.
Another one I forgot to watch. I was striking out this year on TV shows. Number 5 for me is going to be season 2 of Peacemaker. Still killing it. John Cena is incredible. Also give me 50 seasons of Peacemaker. I don't know what the plan is if they're trying to bring him into the DC movies. I sure hope so, because I think he deserves it.
Okay. 4 for me, Yellow Jackets season 3. Y'all watch Yellow Jackets. It is fantastic. It's basically, a time travel between 2 different time frames, but again, a group of kids that get stuck on an island after traveling to a soccer game and their plane crashing, and they continue to develop the characters. They have a strong cast. It's pretty messed up. And some of the stuff that they have to go through. So if you're a little squeamish, they do have to do some weird things when they're kids to survive, like hunting each other. Anyway, it's great. It's great, and I can't wait for the next installment of that one either.
Number 4 for me, I'm ready for the hate on this one, but I am putting the final season of Stranger Things here.
Ooh.
After Conformity Gate.
Yeah, even after Conformity Gate, you're right. I thought it was a great ending. Honestly, I liked what I got out of it. I felt like it tied it up well. I didn't need that extra secret episode that everybody was hoping for. I think it was a good close. I'm not a big fan of them doing spinoffs, but I guess we'll see when that happens. But as a whole, looking at it as like, I don't know, how long has it been? Like over 10 years since the first season?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the, iconic television, right?
Yeah,
it really is.
Right. It'll go down in history as like, there's like benchmark shows that come out. You could say Game of Thrones. You could obviously say like Sopranos that like carve out somewhere in history.
Yep.
And Stranger Things has just been around us and been so impactful. So I'm with you on that, but I'm not going to actually hate you for your placement.
Sweet. I appreciate it.
I think here's where we actually start combining on some,
Yeah.
Craig. See, the third one, the top three were hard for me. The third
Same.
one for me is the first season of The Pitt.
Okay.
The first season of The Pitt is number 3 for me. We're actually currently watching the second one. That
Same.
is a medical drama that everybody should watch. You got your combination of the show 24 with a 24-hour period with the hard-nosed action of just a hospital that just is understaffed or has less materials than the standard hospital, but has to figure it out. And it's a great group. You just watch from start to finish. You're kind of on the edge of your seat the whole time. So that's 3 for me.
3 for me is going to be, that's where I landed, Welcome to Derry. Top 3 for me are tough, but what a great first season of television for something that you would look at and be like, we don't need that, but we do. And more seasons coming, obviously. Man, every episode had me like hooked. There was not a single episode where I was like, this is boring. Not to me. And that last episode was incredible.
So good.
Man, I out of nowhere for me. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. It's just these top 3 are just really hard for me. So I had to put it at 3.
I'm with you on that. Stranger Things,
All right.
season 5 is my number 2. This is where it's kind of hard to explain the list. There's a couple of shows on here that I caught up to the current season with my wife. So leading up to season 5, I was already caught up, but I watched 3 and 4, and Leanne had not seen it before yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really special to do that. Season 5 had its moments. It's not necessarily my favorite. I think I could argue 4 or even 3. But it was still darn good. And again, these 3 are interchangeable when you kind of just keep staring at your list.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 for me is The Pitt, season 1. Just incredible television. So pumped that we have a new season. We're 1 episode in and it's already incredible. But yeah, that's just, go watch it if you have not watched The Pitt. You are missing out on that.
Number 1 for me is Welcome to Derry. Now, yep. I want everybody to know at home, all listeners and watchers, that I am a huge fan of Stephen King books and media or adapted media. I read probably almost close to half or maybe over half of his library, and it's my favorite. It is my favorite. It's my favorite story. The lore is great. So I already came into this knowing I was going to love it. It definitely delivered. I think you should give it a whirl, but just realize that it is quite bloody. They do, like, there's children running away from an extraterrestrial being that can mimic their darkest fears. So just keep that in mind, but definitely worth it.
My number 1, and I just realized that my top 3 were they're all going to have seasons, but like they were all original shows, which is awesome to me. It wasn't like a follow-up. But number 1 for me this year, the one that caught me by surprise the most was Paradise. That I know we talked about it way back when on one of the podcasts, but just for something that a trailer sets you up for a show that you think is one thing and it just switches and becomes something completely different after like the first episode, blew my mind. There's another season coming this year, so I'm super pumped on that. But I had to put it at number 1 just because it came out of nowhere and just flips on itself. And again, if you are interested, watch the trailer, but don't look up anything else before you go into that show, for sure.
All right. You ready to do movies then?
Do you guys have honorable mentions? Or do you just have 10?
Movies?
I just have 10.
I mean, I'm sure I could find one maybe like last minute.
All right. I mean, I have 5, but I can let them go. It's fine.
No,
let's just keep it. You know what? Do you have honorable mentions for games?
No.
Dang. I do.
Okay. All right.
I have honorable mentions for games.
I cut it off.
All right. Here's what we'll do. Since you guys don't, I'm not going to mention them, but if they're on one of your lists, I'll just throw it out there that it was an honorable mention. That feels fair. All right.
There we go. That sounds good.
All right, I'll go first just because you guys did the TV
Mhm.
shows. Number 10 for me
Yeah,
is
yeah.
The Phoenician Scheme.
Ooh.
Ooh.
One of the movies that kind of caught me by surprise, a Wes Anderson film that can sometimes be hard to follow, but in this particular case, I was able to follow this Wes Anderson film and I enjoyed what I had seen. Um, I'm a big fan of Benicio del Toro. I think he's an awesome actor, and I know he acts in a lot of good movies that came out this year. But Phoenician Scheme is kind of my oddball pick at number 10.
I like it.
I like it. I like it a lot. Am I next again?
Go
Are we
for
going
it.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I apologize to everybody. My list is going to have a lot of horror movies. I'm so sorry. Number 10 for me is Hard Eyes. Came out, what was that, around Valentine's Day last
Yeah.
year.
February.
Good slasher film. Some good deaths, and I was more impressed with it than I thought. I thought that the trailer was going to give me more than I was actually going to get, but it did actually live up. I just think that this was a great year in horror, so there's a lot of things that beat it for me, but it's a good one.
One of my honorable mentions. Thank you for putting that on your list.
Yes.
Number 10 for me, I'm going to drop in Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Did not really have that much hype for me, but surprisingly enjoyed it enough to watch it multiple times this year. Actually, I'm excited to see them again in Avengers when that comes out later at the end of this year. But yeah, a great first movie for Fantastic Four, and it's nice to see them actually get a decent movie for once.
Let's see here. So then my number 9 picks up at Captain America Brave New World.
Ooh.
I just like this Anthony Mackie's kind of take on Captain America. And Captain America is probably one of the original Marvel trilogies that kind of did it right. Like, it definitely got, like, 1 is a little rough, but 2 and 3 are definitely the highlights, really, of some of the Marvel standalone movies. I just really liked Anthony Mackie's more action-oriented and kind of self-questioning Captain America. You know, he's someone who is trying to live up to Steve Rogers. He knows he kind of can't. He's not a super soldier, but that scene with, like, the jet fighters was one of my favorite scenes. I just thought it was so cool. Captain America going against jet fighters is a fun little twist. I really don't care about the red Hulk. I'll be honest. I didn't.
It's Harrison Ford.
I know it's Harrison
Right.
Ford. It's just one of those things where at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I much enjoyed everything else about the movie.
It's too bad Marvel did not.
Yeah.
Now they're just abandoning Anthony Mackie.
Yeah. Number 9 for me is the movie Companion. Kind of came out of left field for me. I like Sophie Thatcher the more that I watch stuff with her in it, and you can give me anything with Jack Quaid. Just give me anything with Jack Quaid. So it's a nice movie. It's a nice take on kind of creating a companion that is then either automatron or robot or whatever you would like to call it. So there's a good story behind the self-awareness that happens with it, and it's a nice film. You would think that it wouldn't fit in any particular category, but I think it is. I think it's a good science fiction thriller kind of film.
Another one of my honorable mentions. Thank you again.
Yes.
Number 9 for me is where I'm gonna drop Wicked for good. I know my number 1 movie last year. Still enjoyed it. I don't think it hit as hard as part 1 for me personally. It could be because I knew more of the songs from the first part, but still was an incredible movie to watch. Just comparing it to last year, I had to put it lower. I just had to.
Fair.
I actually recently watched Wicked for like the first time in a full sitting. I enjoyed that movie. It was good.
It's a great movie.
It's so good. It's so good.
But on the opposite spectrum, my number 8 is Ballerina.
Hey.
From the John Wick Chronicles here. I know John Wick 4 was our favorite movie unanimously a couple years ago.
Yep.
Maybe of the decade.
Yeah.
It's just kind of unfortunate to see. I am a fan of Ana de Armas, and I do believe that she does a good job of like the action sequences here. But for whatever reason, this movie does not live up, I think, to what the John Wick kind of set pieces are. The ending is a really good set piece where it's kind of her against the entire village, and the fact that there's an entire village of outcasts of the group that they're all a part of, the secret society, I think is cool. But just in the end, there's too many slow ups and not enough diverse action sequences where John Wick 4 is really a love letter to all types of martial arts and action.
Yeah. Another honorable mention. You guys are killing
Yeah,
it.
see?
I'm glad I didn't say
Look,
them.
look at us being honorable to Craig. Uh, we're on 8, right? 8 for
Yes.
me is the latest Knives Out movie, Wake Up Dead Man. I like Knives Out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's just keep doing it. I mean, I liked Glass Onion, and I forget what the original one was called. I forget, was it just called Knives Out? I can't remember. But
Yes.
but it's a great whodunit yet again. Daniel Craig doing Daniel Craig things, but he had a great supporting cast, and Glenn Close was particularly funny in this one. And I just really like it. The only thing that I would mention to people is that it's like a 2.5 hour movie though, so they do spend some time before the knives come out, you know. But as you're watching it, you do realize that there is a setup that needs to happen, and it's I think it's very well done despite the long run time.
Number 8 for me, I won't say too much because I know it's going to be on Craig's list as well. But I put Weapons at 8 for me.
Ooh.
An experience in the theater for sure. Super hyped on this movie, trying to figure out what it was before it came out. I think it delivered. I think it's an incredible movie. I had a ton of fun with it. It probably, like, when I got out of the theater watching it, that was like, all right, this is like top 3. But I think as time went on, I kind of shuffled it around a little bit, so it ended up at 8.
That's fair.
Number 7 is where Fantastic Four lands for me.
Sweet. And
I was
give
gonna
it
say,
to
I
me,
don't have
Barry.
mine.
Give it
Yeah,
to
I'm
me.
And it was fantastic.
It was the
Well,
best.
what I like about it is more of like a grounded approach, and it's one of the few Marvels that hasn't needed to hash out its backstory. We know about the Fantastic Four; they give us a very little snippet, and then it gets kind of straight into like what they're dealing with. And I just like this cast. I think this cast is good. This is definitely more of an established Fantastic Four rather than we've seen so many iterations of Doctor Doom already, and I thought they did a pretty good job of the Silver Surfer with
Yeah.
in this one. But just overall, it was kind of a fun take on the 60s, 50s futuristic vibe in a way. But yeah.
Sweet.
Number 7 for me is where Wicked for Good landed. Very similar to what Craig said. It just didn't hit as hard. Still a good movie. I just didn't have my like. I didn't have like that moment where you got like where your skin crawled like in a good way, because I remember how my body felt when that note was hit. But it was still a good one. I don't know if it's because of their separation in certain moments, because they do have different storylines that keep intertwining, but they do spend some time apart, like essentially hating each other, but it's still a great one. Still should watch it.
Yeah.
Just didn't hit.
7 for me. I'm gonna do One of Them Days with Kiki Palmer. Incredibly funny movie. Another one that I feel like is kind of going under the radar a little bit. I don't know. I felt like maybe it would get nominated for something. Nothing at all. But I think it should. So I'm gonna give it the recognition it deserves. It's at number 7 for me.
All right. Number 6 is where Superman comes down for me. James Gunn first movie in the DC universe, and I just thought he did it really well. I like how they do the trailers, like we kind of didn't know what the Justice Group was really going to be, because they did seem like a little bit of a-holes in the trailers, but then you come to realize that many of the scenes are edited that way on purpose to make you think one thing, but then they show you another. And I think that's just what trailers should be doing. They should play on our emotions and make us think. Something that isn't happened is going to. But I think it's James Gunn first really good soiree into the theatrical Superman portion of things. I really like this movie.
Okay, number 6 for me, Keeper. I I know that this is not the popular opinion because that movie got torn apart by critics and such like that. But there is something about this film and just the way it's shot. The entire time you're trying to wonder, you're trying to understand what's going on. It just looks like a couple that's going to a secluded cabin. They seem happy while they're there, but as they spend more time, you realize that there's evil afoot in this area, and there's a couple of visuals and background ways that it's shot, or sorry, background motioned ways that there's that it's shot that is fantastic, and it hit harder for me specifically. I know that's going to be the one that probably people will make fun of me for, but Keeper's there for me.
Okay. 6. Thunderbolts. I don't know. I've not much to say other than an incredibly entertaining movie, and I need more of them. More of those characters, more of the villain who is not a villain. Sorry if you have not watched it spoiler wise, but man, setting up the future of Marvel with this movie and not even realizing it, right? You're going into it and be like, it's Thunderbolts, and then it becomes, I don't know if I should say spoilers or not, but New Avengers is something that I did not have on my 2025 bingo card for sure. Did not expect to like this as much as I did. And another one that I think is kind of controversial, right? I think some people are very much against Thunderbolts, but I thought it was an incredibly well done movie.
Okay.
All right. So then number 5 for me is Wake Up Dead Man. It's more or less that I'm a big fan of Daniel Craig, and I do like the whodunits. These movies are always very good for the one-off having fun and one-off like whodunit. I don't know how much rewatchability these movies have, but the Wake Up Dead Man I thoroughly enjoyed, and it's another one of those like trying to guess, having fun with it, and that's what I like about these movies.
Yeah, it's a good one. Number 5, Craig, is where one of them days landed for me.
Sweet.
It kind of got buried because it was like one of the first movies out this year. It felt like,
yeah,
or at least one of the first big movies. But it definitely hit home. Love Keke Palmer. Love SZA in it. They really sold the relationship and made you feel like they were best friends for like years outside, which is probably so. But it was a great movie. It was a great movie. Good comedy.
Number 5 for me is going to be The Monkey. I'm assuming
Yes.
this is on your list somewhere, Craig, as well. I'm the biggest sucker for horror comedies. Give me that like over the top gore that's so much gore that you can't help but laugh at. And just a ridiculous premise. Had so much fun in the theaters with this one. Watched it again when it came out physically. Cannot speak highly enough of this movie. And another, I guess, controversials. I felt like it was received pretty well, but like not too long ago, when I was going through my list, it seemed like a lot of people don't like this movie now. Not sure what happened, but I'm sticking with it. I think it's a great movie. Fight me.
Okay.
Number 4 for me is Frankenstein, the Guillermo del Toro movie. I didn't really know what to expect with Frankenstein, but I saw some high reviews coming on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. So when I went to watch it, I was pleasantly surprised. I actually really don't care for Oscar Isaac's character, if I'm being completely honest. What's more interesting to me is the guy who played Frankenstein. I just thought was so much more interesting and so much more fun to watch. His interaction with other people, and how he came about going how those two end up meeting and how he starts to hunt down his, the doctor that brings him to life, I think is really cool. Just Frankenstein is just like a kind of a movie I didn't know what to expect because we know the story of Frankenstein, but I didn't know about how this one would take, and I really liked it.
Okay. Number 4 for me is The Monkey. So that Craig, that's where The Monkey landed for me.
Okay.
I have 2 Osgood Perkins movies in my count here. So if any of y'all did like The Monkey or like Osgood, you should definitely watch Keeper because that's the other one that he did this year. I don't know when that guy sleeps. He dropped 2 movies this year, one in late last year, and he's working on another one. So, but I mirror everything that Craig said about it. So.
Let's see. My number 4 is The Long Walk. Was cautiously optimistic about this movie when it was coming out because the trailer really sold it. And I feel like it delivered for the most part. I have a little bit of an issue with the ending of the movie, but as a whole, just a fantastic movie to watch. Depressing, super depressing, but a great movie to watch.
Our top 3 now.
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Oh.
Top
Ooh.
is where K-pop Demon Hunters makes
okay.
its way for me. I have a feeling it will be higher as it is a very, very popular movie that did come out this year. But it is just another like out of the park home run by Sony Animation Pictures.
Yep.
It makes the wait for the next Spider-Verse movie not as doesn't hurt as much. It still sucks. But the fact that such catchy songs and such a fun way to go around the movie, and such a surprise even that it took over Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a complete takeover. It's won now two Golden Globes, especially for best song. And I know Netflix pushed that, but yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters is 3. Is where it lands for me.
Literally took over the world. This year.
It took over the world.
Yep.
If you asked two out of 3 parents what their kid wanted to be this year for Halloween, it was that.
Yep.
Like maybe 3 out of 3. Speaking of 3 for me is Weapons. Hey. That's where it landed for me. Was not disappointed. Like you, Craig, trying to figure out what was going on. I think the marketing was good because you saw just enough, but like the major twist was nobody could predict it, and it's a great one. I can't wait to. I'm excited for the Halloween rotation for that. Yes. My last 3 could be interchanged, definitely, depending on how long I stare at my list. But I'm putting Weapons or had Weapons at 3.
Number 3 for me is going to be probably something that's on Craig's list as well. I put The Black Phone 2 at number 3. Maybe it's not on your list, but another one that some people seem to have issues with, but I think followed up the first one extremely well, especially because I was on the bandwagon of, I don't know how you make another one, but I think they did a great job of figuring that out. And I'm all for like the supernatural horror vibe. So give me a couple more of those. I'm in.
All right, number 2 is going to be a not popular opinion.
Oh,
here.
No.
It's Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Oh God.
So
yes.
let me start off yes, I am self-admittedly a fanboy of the Avatar movies. I don't know what it is about James Cameron and his action sequences, but they are so pleasing to watch. And in 3, there's a lot of critiques about 3. What I can tell you is the fight scenes are still just as phenomenal. I do think they do a much better job of getting into the kid story this time around. And that's what I really liked about it. It's more the kids. It more asks Neytiri to accept, that her children are different. They're not regular, what are they called? Navi? Yeah.
Navi.
Oh boy, almost walked myself through that one. But I just really liked the story it had to tell, and that final action sequence is just so satisfying. I think while the movie, I'll admit, it's slower, subplots are not probably as hittable, and it's not as good as The Way of Water, but what I loved about this was the action sequences. Neytiri still does a fantastic job. I've I really like the Fire Tribe and the relationship between her and the general, because now he's starting to become one of them. That I also enjoy him getting his bit there. But I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I really liked Avatar of Fire and Ash. I
That's
really
why
did.
it's your list. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. Um, number 2 for me is Sinners.
Interesting.
Great. It's just fantastic. Michael B. Jordan does a great job playing two brothers and making it look seamless with their interactions with each other. I love the storyline. I know that there's an unpopular opinion that it becomes a period piece in Act 1 and then an actual scary movie in Act 2. I think that that is exactly what that movie needed so that you cared about the safety and survival of the characters in the second act. Personally, wonderful depiction of African American just lineage history, and just a good timepiece there. That choreography scene where they show the different dances and music of African Americans, I think was great and well done. It's just a fantastic film, and it was fun, and it was different but similar. It you just felt a bunch of things when you watched it.
Number 2 for me is K-pop Demon Hunters, baby. It has to be up there. It has to. It dominated. I watched it multiple times. I listened to the soundtrack so many times this year. It was just such ingrained in my head from the beginning of the year to the end. So it has to be in the top 3.
Now, what would a number 1 Barry list be without his anime number
Oh
1 of the
no.
year? It's Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1.
Baby.
I cannot explain how well they adapted the manga there, and it is just a straight up power fantasy from beginning to end. Other than the lengthy cutscene, the lengthy backstory for Akaza, and I get it. Not everyone likes those, and as somebody who has read all of the manga, I just they didn't need to last on it for as long as I think they did, but overall, it's just the culmination of the best in the anime business, like making action sequences, and Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1 did it, and I cannot wait for Part 2 because that's where I live. Part 2 is going to be the peak.
All right.
It wouldn't be. Oh
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it wouldn't be a Craig list without a horror movie being number 1. Bring Her Back is my number 1 movie of the year. It is the directors who did Talk to Me. It was their follow-up film. And to be completely honest, I think they did a fantastic job with this. I was struggling between Sinners and this, and I had to go back to the emotion that I felt at the end, in terms of what that movie did to me. I was taken aback by what I just saw. There's some cringy parts. There's some definite, I would say, kind of scary parts, but above all else, it made me. It kept me on the edge of my seat. So that's my number 1. Sinners.
So then, what makes our top 3, you may ask? I definitely think K-pop Demon Hunters has a place in our shared top 3 here.
Probably.
I would say so.
And Sinners
in the top 3.
Yes.
And I guess where does number
I don't
3
know.
come in for you guys?
Is there any movie that all three of us have on our list?
Oh boy.
I don't think so,
I'm
right?
the outlier here, to be
Right.
honest.
Trying to think.
Well, I know there's wait, there was 2 Wicked for Goods. There was 2 Wake Up Dead Man.
Yep.
There was 2 One of Them Days. There was 2 Monkeys. There was 2 Weapons. Or wait, Weapons might have been honorable. Oh no, wait, that was at the.
No, I had Weapons.
Okay.
I don't think it's Wicked. Not
I
for
don't
a
think it's
top
Wicked.
3. No.
No, I think I was just saying that we have a lot of 2s,
Yeah.
but no 3s.
Because Barry, I think the only ones you and I have the same besides no, Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah, we had Fantastic Four and K-pop.
Okay. And then Craig, we had Sinners, K-pop, The Monkey, One of Them Days, and Weapons, and Wicked. That's a lot.
One of them wicked Weapon Days. I don't know what the third one is, guys.
Yeah. Is Sinners or K-pop Demon Hunters higher?
I never watched Sinners. I completely understand if Sinners is number 1 though. Like
I also never watched. I didn't watch K-pop, so I'm unfair in my depiction of what K-pop would be. I'm pretty sure I'd like K-pop, but I just haven't watched it.
Maybe we just leave it as a mishmash.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, in general, those
have our
yeah. Sinners and K-pop Demon Hunters are like our shared 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very high ranked amongst all of us.
Yes.
Cool. Now for the moment everyone's been waiting for. The video games.
Yeah, this is where we get mad at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm already mad at you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're going to get mad at my honorable mentions.
Oh, this should be
Oh,
fun.
man.
I'm excited for this.
Right.
But speaking of that, why don't you start at your 10?
Oh, God. Do you have honorable mentions, Craig?
I have
you guys can go
4.
Yeah.
I have 3.
Okay.
Do you want to do those?
Yeah, we could do those.
Okay. Give me your honorable mentions. Hit me.
So I feel even bad with this. All right, so my 4 honorable mentions are Kazan, the first Berserker.
How dare you?
I know. Mafia Old Country.
Okay.
South by Midnight.
How dare you?
and Blueprints.
Okay.
Those are my 4.
I have Mafia the Old Country in my honorable mentions, so we agree on that. I have Silent Hill F. And you can say how dare you, it's fine.
How dare you?
And then my other honorable mention, and I feel like Barry's gonna say how dare you, Ghost of Yote.
Oh my God.
Oh.
You just mentioned that honorably?
That game's boring as hell.
Oh. All right, well.
See, I told you we're gonna get angry at each other. That is the driest game I played this year.
Okay. Whew. All right.
Anyways, top 10s.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do we even want to be in the same
No, we don't.
virtual room together?
Oh man. Oh, and also I sorry, Donkey Kong is also an honorable mention for me.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. It should be mentioned. Let's be fair. Yes. But it does not crack my top 10. Who's starting?
Well, you were going to do your 10.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yes.
My number 10 is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I don't know if either one of you played that. It gave me a reason to use my Switch 2. That just like my Switch 1 is gathering dust. For the love of God, give me something to play on the Switch.
I
know. We were talking when we were not recording, but I fell heavily into the trap of getting platinums on PlayStation. So anything that I can remotely play on PlayStation, I will not play on the Switch. So that doesn't help. But man, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a phenomenal game. If you have not played that game, check that out for sure.
Cool. You go ahead with your number 10. Yep.
Number 10 for me, which might piss Craig off. I don't know.
Oh, God, here we go.
I feel like, Barry, you'll be okay with it. Is Donkey Kong Bonanza is number 10 for me.
That's fine.
Just scratches the surface. It was just fun enough for me. The end of it became a slog to just try to get to the end. Eventually, you didn't feel like you needed to upgrade your abilities anymore. but it was a thing they did. And I really appreciate Nintendo trying to go out there to make what would be, instead of a Mario platformer, something for DK to give him some love.
Yes.
So it's a 10.
Okay.
All right. At number 10 for me is Mafia: The Old Country.
Sweet.
I love the cinematic portions of it. I do enjoy that this game is just a get to the next point, here's your next story beat, get to the next point, here's your next story beat. They crafted a beautiful world. It is fun to drive in. I never skipped any of that just because I thought the world looked that pretty. And I just like what they did. I thought the story was really good. And the only part I hated about it, which is why, I really disliked, is the sneaking around at the end.
Yes.
With the other character. It has the Mary Jane issue from Spider-Man 1. So yes. that is where I land there.
As someone who just went back and platinumed Spider-Man this year, my God, those Mary Jane sections suck.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, number 9. Are you all ready to get angry? Because I'm ready to piss people off.
I was gonna say his list is just a rage bait, I guess.
It might be, honestly. Number 9 is Expedition 33, baby.
Wow. Okay.
See, I told you we're gonna get mad at each other. This is my list. It is a good game.
What?
But I will. Maybe part of it is just because I got so angry at the Game Awards and how much they were just kissing Expedition 33 over and over and over again. I think it is a great game. I think that it's a stretch to say that it's something completely new we haven't seen before. I've seen the battle system before. The music is great, but this is an RPG. We have seen RPGs. I hold it up there as a great game, but not as high as I think both of you would say. I think that's the nicest way to say it. I didn't hate it, to be fair. It's on my list. I enjoyed it. I just don't think it's as good as everybody says it is. That's all. Give it to me. They're coming for me.
Number 9. Number 9 for me is Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Oh.
I'm a Hideo fanboy, guys, and I understand that it's technically a game that he did that got re-released by the company that essentially has bad blood with him still. I don't know if they still hate each other, but that they did. But it's a Metal Gear Solid game. They definitely upgraded it to where it became likable for me again. And as you guys know, and anybody who listens or watches this podcast, it's not my favorite Metal Gear Solid, and it made me love the game again. So I think that that's the important thing that Delta did for me. I also forgot a lot of the parts because I hadn't played it in so long. So it was really nice to just go back and just play like an updated version of it.
One of the games I wish I got into this year.
Me too.
I didn't get to play that one.
I played it a little bit, but I did not go through it again.
Number 9 for me is Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. Oof. So I have a feeling, Craig, you have that higher up than I think. Okay, so you didn't even have it.
The only reason is because I did not play through it fully.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I never played Final Fantasy Tactics, but I have heard so much about it, and the people are right about the storytelling and how it tells the story of a Final Fantasy game in like this tactics sort of way. It's my itch for Fire Emblem. With no Fire Emblem coming out this year, we get into next year, boys. Be prepared. But it's just a fantastic way to, as an updated version, to play this game. It's all voice acted. I think the combat system is very good. The main reason that I don't have it higher on my list is it can be a little frustrating to get the cursor to where you want it to go because it is a four-dimensional map, where in Fire Emblem you're picking everything tile by tile. It's the same way, but it's a little hard to go diagonally in this one. It's just one of the things I ran into that was a little frustrating.
I'm really glad you liked it. That makes me happy.
Yes,
nice.
It's very good.
8? Okay. 8. I'm going Chronos, The New Dawn.
Okay.
Thoroughly
I hear a
enjoyed.
lot of good, yeah.
Yeah.
Things about it.
Was very hesitant on this game because, again, I did not hear much when it came out. a good mix of Dead Space, but very slow and methodical. It could be frustrating at times. Some of the bosses were making me smack my head against the wall, but I never fully gave up, and I'm glad I saw it the whole way through. Multiple endings, all of them pretty good, and just a great horror entry. Honestly, I preferred this to Silent Hill. That's why I flipped them and put Chronos on my list and Silent Hill as honorable mention.
You know what's funny? If I had played that, that would have probably
That's fair.
been my thing as well. But I did not get a chance to play that one. I will be pissing people off with my 8. This
Hey,
is my list. I want to say it. I'm going to say this is my list. This is mine. 8 for me is Persona 5X. The gotcha persona
wow.
game. I took
You are
a
kind of the gotcha guy of the podcast, surprisingly.
yeah. And you know what's funny? Like I'm basically free to play. Like Leanne got me a gift and got me like some, currency for the game as for Christmas as like an extra stocking stuffer kind of thing. But I do a lot of free to play with it. And this game is extremely generous to free to play players. You really feel like you can I've had to skip multiple characters, but if you have played the Personas, seeing them put in this type of game, and just more stuff to do in the world with the music. There's the mini games that we all want. There's the dungeon crawling that we all want, and it's really just something special. And I couldn't not put it on this list because it is a game that I do dailies on. Like I log in, I do the dailies real quick for the free currency, and I put a lot of hours into it.
All right, so we are at number 7 now. Is that where we're at?
8. 8. You're at 8.
Okay, 8 is where I have Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Sweet.
8. It seems to be I'm the 3 that enjoyed it the most. I know I'm going to get some hate for putting it as low as I did, but much like Craig, I agree there is a slog toward the end. That is always the issues with these collectathon games, where it's mostly about like, and on top of it too, it is like just a bunch of destroying. It is just destroy, destroy, destroy. You can probably, I'd be willing to bet there are people who lucked into just being able to continue through the game because they just dug far enough and happened up on enough bananas to continue to go through the game. But Donkey Kong Bonanza, I think, is a really good start. I'd love to see where they take it next if they decide to do it again.
Mhm.
8.
7 for me is where I put First Berserker, Kazan. Thoroughly enjoyed that game a lot. The last boss almost made me break my controller, but overall was a fantastic experience. Another game that kind of came out of nowhere, right? I'm like, oh, I think I'll try it. Maybe it'll be good, and ended up being very, very good. It was a good way to start off the year, honestly.
Yeah, that's a solid case for the demo because
Yeah.
I wasn't on board until I played that demo. I think we talked about it on this podcast, Craig, where I think we did the demo, or all 3 of us did the demo. So that's a good
Yep.
good one right there. Number 7 for me is Silent Hill F. Great experience, different from the normal Silent Hill experiences. I know that there's some complaints that there's a more physical nature of approaching enemies where you had like breakable items that you were hitting them over with as opposed to at least getting a gun at some point. But after you see the main character, you understand completely why. I mean, she's a schoolgirl in what can I call it? Feudal Japan. I think it was technically feudal Japan, but I forget the time frame. But it just made more sense with her character. Quite some abominations that had a good blend of Japanese horror and with a Silent Hill touch. You kind of still had your like what would be nurses, but they were different technically. They kind of had like scarecrow school children vibes, and it was just a great experience. A whole crap ton of red. So if you play that game, I hope you like the color red because it is everywhere. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
Number 7 for me is Ninja Gaiden 4. Ninja Gaiden
Sweet.
4. Much like Craig said, this is definitely my type of Ninja Gaiden game. I love the little bit of a bit more difficulty than Bayonetta has, but I also just desperately love the flashy combat and the fun going from area to area. I think actually the dialogue and banter between you and your Comrades is actually some of the best that, like, better than Bayonetta, and it's definitely like a step up for most Ninja Gaidens. I do understand this is not everyone's Ninja Gaiden. I do get that. It really isn't for everyone, I think, just because people do have a certain expectation of what Ninja Gaiden is and how it feels and plays. This plays more like a Bayonetta, and I love that about it. So, Ninja Gaiden 4.
Sweet. What are we on? 5?
6.
6.
6. 6 is where I put Ninja Gaiden. Look at that.
Ah, look at
See?
that.
I don't even have to say anything. You summed it up perfectly. Ninja Gaiden. Go play that game. That's all I'm going to say.
You know, you guys were like, "Oh man, I missed that game. I wish I played it." That was the game. That was the one for me. Like, I just missed that one, and I played the other one earlier in the year that they dropped, but I missed that. I missed 4. 6 for me is Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. How's it said? Yeah, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. This is more of like a love letter kind of thing for me, where it's the Like a Dragon series. I just love what they do.
Yep.
And I hope that they continue to put out more stuff. It's just a fun game. If you played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or if you want a different take on Like a Dragon, or even just the Yakuza series in general, you should try this one. It still gives you the combat that you're looking for, but it gives you a different setting, a different plan of attack, all that type of stuff. And I think it could be a standalone game. You don't need to play Infinite Wealth for this one, really.
So the number 6 is actually where Ghost of Yotei lands for me. I do like everything about Ghost of Yotei. It is a step up in Tsushima. I do understand that the game kind of, if you're not in a year of Assassin's Creed Shadows and all of these other ninja games, unfortunately, I think Ghost of Yotei gets buried underneath being the last to come out of all of them, I think. I do think it's superb in a lot of ways with its story of vengeance and its general Ghost Tsushima storytelling ways, but it is one of those things where it's not higher because I do feel it is just that next iteration of Ghost Tsushima. And while everything is better, I think the other 5 ahead of it do better.
Fair. 5 is South of Midnight. I enjoyed this game a whole bunch. The story was phenomenal. The characters are great. Just one of those perfect Game Pass games, honestly, because not a game I would have bought. But because it was on Game Pass, I checked it out, and I'm so glad I did. I wish more people would have. I wish it would have gotten nominated more. But it's on my list. It's top 5. That's going to have to do for me.
It's poetic that it did get Game for Impact?
Yes.
At the Game Awards. That's poetic that it got that. 5 for me is where Ghost of Yotei landed. As I was playing it, I didn't think that it would. I thought it would land higher, to be honest with you. But once I got done with it, I had to take a look at the games, and I know that we incorporate impact on us as people, but also how long we played the games and all these different things, and that's just where it lands. So 5.
Okay. See, I put it in my honorable mentions. I'm over here thinking you guys had it at like 2. I don't feel as bad.
Right.
Number 5 for me, and it's time. It's Pokemon ZA. It's in my number 5 spot. I get everyone hates the graphics. I get everyone doesn't like all the graphics that it's in a city. But guess what? I don't care.
We're on another level this year.
The gameplay is fun. It is addicting. I love the fact that it takes some things from Arceus and bumps it up to another level. It's all real time, so it looks more like the show that people kind of grew up with and how that works. I'll be the first to admit that I agree with a lot of what's wrong with Pokemon, but Mega Evolution is probably, it's not the most addictive in a competitive way, because I feel like Scarlet and Violet did that, but Mega Evolution, they just took it to the level 9, where you've got so many more Mega Evolutions, you can do multiple of them in a battle as long as you're doing moves and things like that. I just find it ridiculously fun. Much like Pokemon Arceus, I 100%ed this game. I have the shiny charm and I did everything.
Man. On another level.
On another level, indeed.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Craig. No, Craig, it's you. Sorry.
4. We're on 4, man. Dispatch. I'm putting it at 4. Thoroughly enjoyed. It took over my household. My daughter is obsessed with Dispatch. She actually played it first and then made me play, and I'm glad she did. She had a completely different ending and story than I did, so I got to see both, which was kind of cool. I think it's been a long enough time that we're ready for like the Telltale style of game again. And more seasons of this would be great. The voice acting is incredible. The animation is incredible. Should have gotten nominated for a lot of stuff, but it really didn't. And I'm not sure why, but top 4 for me.
It got a People's Choice at the Game Awards, right?
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
It won something.
Yeah.
It won something. All right, number 4 for me. I hope I'm starting the split fiction train here, but here's the split fiction at number 4 for me. I don't know how you keep making great games like this, but they continuously do. I know that some people were upset that it wasn't It Takes Two, but I really enjoyed that you took 2 competing writers, you put them, well, they weren't competing in the beginning, but you take a story that makes them kind of become friends, but like over time, and you take them between fantasy and science fiction worlds, which is what they write. You find a way to incorporate stories from their past and in order to keep you hanging on with the character development of them. And you give us one hell of a finish. That final boss sequence was fan-freaking-tastic. So split fiction at number 4 for me.
Number 4 for me is where Death Stranding 2 lands. I have a feeling it's higher on both of your lists. I much more enjoy this Death Stranding over the first one. This Same. Death Stranding does just such a much better job of getting into the meat, giving you the things that you want, and letting you more or less just kind of enjoy the story that Hideo Kojima has built. And Death Stranding 2 does a wonderful job. It's wacky. It is insane, but in a way, it also makes sense. And there's also a lot of, like, he always does a really good job of leaving you with a message about, connection and things like that. So I have, like, my top 4 is all very, very close. And I know we're going to talk about, like, a shared top, 5. Death Stranding 4's in it. It's a lot.
Yep. My number 3 is Split Fiction. It's right there. Just an incredible experience that I got to have with my daughter at the beginning of the year, playing through that game with her. Like you said, that ending boss and the stuff they do with the split screen and everything is incredible. I actually prefer Split Fiction to It Takes Two. Personally, I just think
I agree. I
think it's a better story. I think a lot of people would probably disagree with us on that, but I enjoyed the story more. And just, man, those co-op experiences, you can't beat that. Sitting on a couch with somebody and just playing is incredible.
Number 3 for me, I have not had a chance to talk about this game because of our hiatus, but it dominated my December. Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance.
Oof.
Nice
or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yeah, someone got on that train.
I tried.
That game, that game is freaking awesome. I don't know. I mean, now they did a nice sale for the holidays where you could get all the DLC in the game itself for a very low price, and I was like, this is the time to do it. So I did it, and I tried it for 5 hours, and then I just never put it down. It's what I've played in December. I played it on my Portal. I played it on just the PlayStation 5 itself. It's just I didn't think I was going to like it because I'm not necessarily dedicated to open world action RPG period specific games. Like, you give me like a Skyrim, which is essentially what this is, but like without magic and other elements, then yeah. But I just didn't think I would like it. But believe it or not, I'm engrossed in the characters. I really like the banter and the snapshot of what that world was in that time period. And even some of the smaller things like managing hunger, managing tiredness, while also being able to blacksmith your own weapons and actually doing the actual blacksmithing, I think is a nice touch, because when you actually complete a sword correctly, it feels that much better with the higher rating that you get. I mean, I can go on and on and on about it. It's a great game. It is 100. It is over 100 hours though, if you do everything. So just keep that in mind.
Number 3, I think it will be a surprise to most people. It's Outer Worlds 2.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, Outer Worlds 2, I had a lot of expectations on this game because I didn't really get into 1, but I saw what could be there. This is another thing where it did the kind of the Ghost of Yote to Tsushima. I think Outer Worlds 2 does everything everything better than 1 did. It gets you into the story right away. It gives you a ton of ways to role play who you want to play as. And considering that none of the Fallout games have really gotten to me in a long way, yes, I find a way to mention Fallout 76 every time I can and how much of like a terrible game that is. But Outer Worlds 2, I just think deserves a top 3. I think I find its story very fun. The gunplay is fun, and like the companions and stuff like that. Like it is so much fun living in like this dystopian far space ranger world in Outer Worlds 2. And that's what I really like about it. That's taken up a lot of my December.
Barry, can I add something to that? I feel so bad. I was heavy into that game too. I got to Praetor or Cloister, one or the other. They dropped an update that made it whenever you were third person, your guns weren't working correctly. It was something wrong with like the trigger because I looked it up and I stopped
Yeah.
playing and I never
Okay.
went back. I got that far
Yeah.
in the game and didn't beat it. Like I'm really upset with myself, but that was a good one while it lasted. I just couldn't put it on here because I didn't beat it.
Number 2, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza. Right at the beginning of the year, but that was the first game that I fully completed this year, did everything, put over 40 hours into that game, and just loved everything about it. Love the Yakuza games. That'll never change, but it's just so wacky. And just, I don't know, something about it was so memorable to me. And I know it's not going to be, it probably won't be on anybody's list that high except for mine, to be fair. But I just couldn't not put it at 2. I had way too much fun with that game. Way too much fun.
The game was so good. I still remember the pirate song that played every time. Oh my god.
Yep.
So you guys could probably guess what my top 2 are. You just maybe don't know which order they're in. So let me just break the ice here. The second game overall for me for the year is Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
I'm surprised.
That's a spiteful pick. It's a spiteful pick.
It's number 2 for me. We have a match.
Does that mean that means Craig and I match on 1? I love it.
Yeah. It does.
I don't know if we even need to say a lot because if you at least peek into the video game world, you've read 16 articles about it or heard 16 million people talk about it. But it is a great game. It's a well-crafted story. It's just wonderful that a small studio like that was able to accomplish something so great. And it was a great experience. Gave me one of my biggest holy S moments, which you guys could probably guess where that part happened. And fantastic.
Yeah, what I have to just to kind of bounce off of that with Expedition 33 is also my number 2. What I think it just does the combat in an incredibly fun way that I hadn't really felt since Persona 5 / Persona 3 Reload. And really the only like small things that I really wish it did is there needs to be a mini map. I get it, but like the not having a mini map there I think is just so I get that they did it for taste, but I feel like it needed it. It would have made things a lot better to track instead of having to backtrack as much as you do sometimes in that game. And also just like the movement speed could have been upped a little bit in the overworld. It's always just like just let me go, let me get to where I'm trying to go, especially when you're late game and you're just trying to finish some stuff up and you're already, an omnipotent god. But I also have to give it to its props for both of its endings. You really haven't seen a game like that in a while get its 2 very diverse endings where people both like think one ending is more horrible than the other. And moral, and the whole thing is morally gray. Clair and Obscure, clear, obscure. That's the whole point of it. But it's number 2. There's some wrongs with it, but that story will stay with me forever.
Barry, it's so funny that you mentioned the mini map because I have a friend who's playing it literally right now. I think she's like 75% in, and that was her first complaint. Shout out Alicia if you're listening. She was just like, "Where's the mini map?" I'm like, "I know, just write things down."
Yep. All right, so that means my number one is obviously Death Stranding 2. And there's no way it couldn't be because of how much I just could not get into the first one. And then to just come into the second one and be like, he fixed everything that I didn't like about the first one in the second one. Get you right into the story. All the characters are incredible. I had so much fun just delivering packages, which is weird because I did not like doing it as much in the first one, but something about this one, maybe it's the locations, I don't know. Maybe it's just the stuff he's giving you to traverse seems better. But I remember I did say a long time ago, it's one of the best games I've ever played, and I think I stick by that. Just incredible. Just like you said with Expedition 33, it's going to stay with me for a long time.
I'm gonna build on that because that is also my number one is Death Stranding 2. He did fix a lot. I think to your point, Craig, that I think that he upped the people that you were delivering actual items to. I think he diversified it a little bit. It felt a little stale with like the same scientist guy or the same in the first one. I just feel like there were more characters, quirky characters that weren't directly part of the main story that felt nice to deliver to. And he gave you different biomes without giving you different biomes. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. I got lost in the mountains. I got lost in the desert, and when I'm not good lost, I mean like awesome lost in those moments. And the story's great. You know, Rain is great. There's a lot of great good characters that have depth to them, and classic Hideo, some quirkiness, some craziness in there, guitar battles and all types of weird stuff, and it's just fantastic. So that game's going to stay with me for a while. It's definitely my top of the year.
And then probably is no surprise to me, number one is Hades 2.
Hey.
I put so many hours into the roguelike, and I think it's just something that has to be said about this game is not only the way it builds, it's almost like a Hades 2 and a 2.5 all built into one. You have a whole second route that has different enemies, different bosses, different parts of the story. So, it's more or less, do you go on your, revenge quest to stop, the god of time Kronos, or do you go up and help the gods in their war in Mount Olympus? So it is just one of these things where the combat is addicting enough. The little bits of character information I get from everybody is good enough for me. It's all just this fun, addicting loop that I just enjoy so much. Like when you get the perfect build, you know you got the perfect build, and you just start wiping and killing everyone. And your first time defeating Kronos just feels like this big victory because he is a hard boss in general, but you get to learn his patterns. He gets easier, and then the whole second route opens up, and you're like, "What is this?" Like it's it kind of changes everything and just adds so much more content than what Hades 1 did. It's one of the things too where I know it just means so little probably to them, but like Expedition 33 winning indie game of the year is, I think, a spit in the face.
It is.
Hades to what indies do, and Hades 2 is my game of the year. It's my number one. So
In all honesty, I think like if we think of our top 3 or whatever we want to do, I think obviously probably Death Stranding and Expedition would probably be in there.
Yeah.
I would not be opposed to putting Hades in there as well.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I wouldn't either. Either.
Yeah, I guess it's just more or less like we have those, but then but we are so different on every.
We are. We are.
Well, I don't even feel right suggesting this, but we did all of us did all 3 of us have Ghosts of Yotei on the list, like in the top 10 somewhere?
I had honorable mention.
You had an honor. Okay, never mind then.
6.
I
will say we can add Split Fiction to it. I am someone who doesn't have a player 2, so Split Fiction can absolutely be on there. I just think at that point, does the I guess it's Expedition 33 is on all three of our lists. It was
Yes.
just I would say with Craig's ranking for it, if I just had to list it off here, I'm looking at Death Stranding 2 is 1, and then I'm just trying to think here. So Claire Obscure maybe at 5. We have Split Fiction at 4. Hades 2 would be
3 or
3,
2.
and then I guess that's what we're getting at. Is like, what do we add, or do we bump everything up to put a 5? I guess is my.
What about What about Death Stranding at 1, Hades
Yeah.
at 2, Expedition 33 at 3?
Okay, so that's our top 3.
I feel like that. I mean, Expedition 33 got so much. I feel like Hades deserves something over it. You know what? I don't know. Just personally, like,
Okay.
Hades is
This
an
is what I
amazing
like.
game.
This is why I like us talking out our shared rankings, because we're like, I feel like Expedition got so much.
It did.
Let's give Hades.
Any other year, Hades would be considered in Game of the Year, like a heavy favorite. And literally every game got buried. And there's more than just the game awards, to be fair. It's not just what Jeff Keighley thinks.
Yeah, Golden Joystick, they
Yes.
cleaned house too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think it is too, because then we just end up with Split Fiction at 4, and then really you can put Ninja Gaiden 4 at.
I was gonna
5.
say,
Yeah, that's
I was gonna
solid.
say either Ninja Gaiden or Pirate Yakuza. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Ninja, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's right. Yeah, I think that's you could almost pick between those two. And
Yeah, those are interchangeable. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
like it.
So for High Sensitivity's Game of the Year, we can officially announce is Death Stranding 2. And
like it.
I think a lot of people would say it deserves it. What does 2026 hold for us? We have GTA 6. We think
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
We think
I know
coming
we
out.
didn't. Side note: I know we didn't do like other categories this year, but can we all agree that possibly the biggest flop of the year might be Metroid Prime 4?
Oh my god. Yeah, I returned that game. I bought it, and then
You did.
I bought it. I was playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I was like, I'm going to start the game. I stared at it. I checked the reviews. They were terrible. I returned that game last week.
Okay.
Literally. I didn't even
still plan
play
on
it.
Buying it. I still plan on buying it to play it.
I played it. It's not great. I don't know. I just feel like that thing's been hyped up for years and years and years, and then it came out, and like, despite the negative reviews, even the people who are like, it's a good game, nobody's talking about that game. It just came out in December.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about it. It has to be one of the bigger flops of the year.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other ones.
It has to be for a game that was developed and released, because I know we had all those other games those shooters that had the controversy earlier in the year, but like as a released game, I think probably the biggest flop.
It's so crazy.
Do you guys mind if I do? Can we have like an annual? Oh my god, what was that mutant animal game that I thought was going to be good and it wasn't?
Biomutant?
Can we have a Biomutant pick of the? This is when I say Biomutant pick of the year. This is what I think will be good in 2026. I hope it doesn't suck as much as Biomutant did when it came out. Okay. I really have a lot of faith in Pragmata. Same. Play the demo if you haven't. That I don't think it's going to hit like Claire, but I remember last year where I was like, I really want to play Claire, and and it ended up being like the game of the year, because I know a lot of us were hyped on it. So Pragmata, I think, is that overshadowed, but might actually be a hit this year.
I think that's a fair
and hopefully
guess.
not Biomutant.
Yeah.
I do find it funny that a lot of cultured people like us, like I was definitely hyped for Claire Obscure. Its success does not surprise me.
Right.
And then everyone was like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, you got where were you guys when the game was like teased?
Yeah.
Like it looked like a fun game. Everything looked good. And I get like kind of probably the biggest, I know we didn't do it this year, but like moments like WTF moments is probably the Mael Alicia moment for me, or the ending from Claire Obscure, whichever one you pick, just depends really on preference there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I had written down some, and that was one of them. Also, the boss battle from Split Fiction was another one that I
Mhm.
had written down as like, and also this stuff. And there was multiple I wrote down for Death Stranding, but that's a different story.
Yeah, I had multiple too for
Yeah.
Yeah,
that, but
when it comes to Split Fiction, that's gonna be. I still haven't been spoiled on whatever that does at the end game.
Yeah, don't
So
look it up.
a part of me is
oh,
like,
it's
I have it.
so
I have
good.
the game. I got it on when it was on sale. So it's
Mhm.
just a matter of I'll find my player 2 and I'll give it a shot.
It's so good. All right.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. If you didn't already, if it was Death Stranding 2. If you haven't played it, play it now. Our number one movie of the year was Sinners or K-pop Demon Hunters. Pick your poison. You can watch either of them. I think
Yep.
I know K-pop Demon Hunters is on Netflix. I don't know if Sinners is on streaming yet.
I think it's on
Maybe
HBO.
I think it's on.
Isn't
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you got any
Yeah.
of those streaming services, watch those. And when it comes to TV shows, I don't have any say because I didn't watch very many TV shows. But hopefully you guys enjoyed and got to enjoy your holidays, played your games, got to have fun. And with that, we'll be back again soon, going over probably all the news that we've missed for sure. Biggest flop of the year could be High Guard already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it will.
Yeah.
That comes out the 26th, and it might be the biggest flop already. We'll see. But with that being said, we appreciate everybody listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below on what your favorite things of the year are when it comes to TV, movies, and games. I love hearing other people's opinion on it. And I know Craig is probably going to get a ton of flack for putting Expedition 33 at his 8. That'll be fun for me to read, and I think a lot of people. But there is a small subset for Craig that also agree with him.
Yes.
So he's not alone. He's not alone. But please share your opinions. I'd love to read them. I know there's a lot of other indie games that we didn't get to play this year. So hopefully, if you suggest enough of it, maybe I'll download it and play it at some point. If you're listening on your podcast listening platform of choice, please make sure to leave a review, share it with a friend if you feel so inclined, or share it on social media. Helps us get noticed by more people, and we always appreciate the time and the listen you guys take to our podcast. I hope everyone starts the new year of 2026 off on a good note and make it better than your last year. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you.